You're welcome to Lawyers Infohub. It's another great session here to, bring wonderful legal tips to you so that you can become a better and an excellent lawyer. I'm so glad today because we have a wonderful guest here to help us, become better. For our returning subscribers, I appreciate you. Thank you for always stopping by on this channel to check what is new. And for you who is watching us for the first time, you're asking yourself, what am I? This is Lawyers Info Hub Academy. I'm your host in this channel, and we create law content. We talk about law practice, the life of a lawyer, and all that pertains to becoming a better lawyer and even the best in your area and in your environment. So, friend, just sit back and relax, and I hope you will learn one or two things from our discussion today. So, today we are looking at providing legal solutions in the 21st century. Providing legal solutions in the 21st century. Um, and I'm privileged to have with us Irene Pepple is a legal practitioner, so she will do the introduction. But I'm glad to have her here. So, Ma, you're welcome to this platform. We appreciate you. Thank you for
Thank you
joining
very
us.
much. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you so much. I'm
yeah,
honored to be here and I really appreciate this time out.
thank you, Ma.
So can I go on?
Yes, Ma, please just introduce yourself. Can we know you? Who are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Very well. My name is Irene Pepple. I was called to the bar in 2001. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, Ma, I can.
Okay, great. I was called to the bar 2001. I've been in active practice. I call myself the business attorney. I'm also a coach, and also I advocate for women and children's rights. I focus mainly on commercial and corporate practice. I do a bit of litigation, but I allow my office handle most of that because I want to focus on the areas that bring me more pleasure. So right now we focused on commercial and corporate practice, oil and gas, power, and we serve diverse clients. And our desire is to bring solutions that make our clients come back over and over and over again. So that's briefly what you need to know about me as pertaining to this show.
Yeah, thank you
Okay,
very much.
I
I'm
won't talk
very
about
grateful.
much. So let's leave it there.
Okay, thank you. That is good. Thank you very much. So, Ma, we are looking at providing legal solutions in the 21st century. So, how do you see the 21st century legal practice? And so far, how what has really changed? How do you see this practice we are doing now, and what has really changed based on the times we are in?
Okay, I was called to the bar in 2001.
Yes, ma'am.
Then that's about 21 years ago. And we had a lot of traditional practice, the regular practice.
Okay.
Litigation was more of what we did then. And then
Yeah.
a lawyer who wasn't going to court was seen as someone who was not really a real lawyer. There was a stigma attached
Yeah.
to it at that time. And
Yeah.
then a whole lot has happened now. In the first century, we're talking about innovations.
Yeah.
Innovations. The 21st century lawyer must promote innovation. Um, and there needs to be creativity. It's no longer business as usual, honestly. It's no longer business as usual. So the
Yeah.
practice now, a lot has changed. You don't have to be a litigator to be a lawyer. You can be anything else as long as you're offering legal solutions to clients. That's all I have to say for now. The traditional practice, is being disrupted right now. There's a disruption
Yeah.
going on. And there are challenges, many lawyers
Yeah.
with our thinking, there are challenges. Our work life has changed, and then our tools is no
Yeah.
longer, taking, before now, you would have clients coming maybe in the evening, you take instructions and go. But right now, a lot
Yeah.
of disruptions. You can get to see your clients via Zoom. You can take instructions without physically missing your client. There's so many
Mhm.
things that have changed. So I think that right now there's a disruption in the legal space.
In the legal
Some people are
space.
still holding on to the traditional, saying,
Yeah.
no, it must be this way. but others have started thinking and moving. So I think that's where we are right now.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, how has technology affected the legal practice and the provision of legal solutions in our today's world? How has technology, affected it?
As you say this, it's technology we're using for this, isn't it?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Before now, we had to be physically in one space
Yeah,
where to be able to do this, to reach out to so many people. I can imagine that right now, even if people don't watch this now, they're going to watch
yeah,
on replay. They're going to have access to this information
it's
over
true.
the years. Right. What
Yeah,
has just happened is that technology is being put into practice right now as we're speaking. I'm here in
yeah,
Port Harcourt and I'm here on the same show as you because
yes,
we are employing technology for our use. So right
yeah,
now, technology has affected legal practice. Any lawyer who is not using technology um, for their practice is really losing out
it's
on
true.
clients, losing out on delivering service. Because if you have a client in let's say, the United States of America, and you will have to
Yeah,
do a meeting, I know lawyers will say, I would prefer to fly there. But honestly, we know that that will cost your flight, your client
yeah,
more. But you can take instructions and still deliver solutions that will cause your client to even refer you for bigger briefs and retain you. So you don't lose anything with using technology. We have Zoom meetings now, we do Google Meets, the virtual court sittings now, e-filing in River State, we use
it's true.
e-filing to file our matters. So there's so much going on right now. Technology has affected it, and the sooner lawyers, wake up to this reality and embrace it, the better
Yes.
for every one of us, and not for our clients, and to impact our earning capacity.
Wow, thank you, Bobby. Yes, because you see that even the older lawyers are trying to be trained. They are utilizing the younger ones to put them through, because if you are left behind before you wake up, you are no more relevant. Thank you for that answer. As a female lawyer, do you feel disadvantaged? And what advice do you have for female lawyers who will be watching this video, who will come across this video in the future? What advice do you have for them in terms of providing legal solutions?
Okay, let me be honest.
Okay.
I no longer feel disadvantaged. Years ago, I'm talking from experience now, and I'm sharing my experience. Are we okay? Can I go on? Okay, so let me go on. Years ago, as a young lawyer who was called to the bar, and I happened to get married, and then as they say, fell pregnant. I found it hard to get employed in private employment firms, because everybody felt that any lawyer who was either pregnant or just newly married was going to move out of practice and no longer practice and may not be an asset to the firm. So I really felt disadvantaged, and I felt rejected when you had to the male in the profession were chosen over you, not because of the content of your brain, but because of your estate. Because at the time, they felt that because you are getting married, you are not going to give your best to the firm. So, of course, I did feel disadvantaged. I felt bad. It affected a whole lot. But right now, I can tell you categorically that there are no barriers. There are no barriers because as a female lawyer, you can be all you want to be, regardless of your estate, whether you're married, whether you have children, or whether your children are growing. What we need to do as female lawyers is to know the kind of practice you should adopt when you are raising children to enable you live up to the expectations of your husband, your family, your children while in practice. practice does not always mean litigation. Practice has many facets. Find what works for you at the time and do it. So I think that with corporate practice, you can go into drafting, you can go into research, you can go into so many other things. So for me, my advice for female lawyers is that we right now in the MBA we have platforms that can help the female lawyer stay in practice, enjoy practice, and actually gives back and builds a female lawyer. One of that is the MBA Women's Forum, where you are taught as a female lawyer, you are embraced, you are strengthened, you have mentors and people to help you. Okay, you're back.
The network was kind of crazy.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
yes. Well, I went on. I think I'm always almost done. I was it
Yeah.
recording at the time.
Yes, you
Okay,
were.
awesome. Because
Yes, ma'am.
yes, because
He
I've
was.
answered your question, and I was recommending to them that the MBA Women's Forum is a good
Yes.
platform where female lawyers can be embraced, be strengthened, be mentored so that they can remain in practice. Right now, I then there was nothing like that. There was no platform. And that is why I'm very passionate about female lawyers and helping them stay in practice, bridging that gap where that feeling that when you're raising children, you're struggling to manage balance your work life and your practice.
Yeah.
So and I think that for the female lawyer, at the time that you're not in if you're a litigator, you're not in
Yes.
litigation, you can major in other things that will not take you to the courtroom and take your time. You can decide
Yeah.
to go into corporate for that time. You can
And true.
upskill. You can do other things that are
Mm,
still in legal practice. So you don't
yeah.
leave the whole line. But if you're a litigator, you will find ways to schedule yourself to be able to go back to your love. But you don't just stop and feel that people may not want to employ you. It's usually hard. You need to be a go-getter. You need to be
Yes.
strong. You need to go for what you want. I mean, if you want to work in a firm that keep on turning you back because you're married or because you have children, tell them they are missing. Don't give up on yourself. Be strong, that
Yeah.
your brain is strong. I mean, you can only show them you can when you stay, hold on and stay in there. If you give up and feel okay, everybody expects me because I'm getting pregnant, I shouldn't work. Some
Yeah.
lawyers work remotely. You can be a virtual assistant to somebody. You can work on somebody's help people with their website. You can be a social media manager managing a lawyer's platforms. You can even be
Yeah.
paid to manage website, blogs. There's so much you can do without moving from your environment so that you can also earn as a female lawyer. So that's all I have to say for now.
This is wonderful because when you see female lawyers that childbearing time of their life is you need to just go in or just again or you're not doing anything, just stay at home and give birth. As long as that stage, you can find yourself, you can do a whole even if you're not in you'll be relevant and know full time. So ma, you have served in different Nigerian Bar Association. Do you think uh, networking amongst themselves provide legal service excellently?
Yes, yes,
Networking.
okay. I've been privileged to
Yeah.
serve as welfare secretary in Port Harcourt branch.
Yeah.
I've also been privileged to serve
Okay.
in the national body as assistant financial secretary. Now, I found that number one, if you don't push yourself to get into those places, nobody will do it for you. You need first to have a
Ooh.
vision, plan, and execute. I can tell you for free that every woman has the ability to lead if they only put out their foot forward. I find that most women now are like, I mean, female lawyers. If you go, like, we're going to have an election soon, you're going to see that you have more
Yeah.
men than women. Why not the other way
Yeah.
around? Women are qualified, but they always second guess themselves most of the time. So I would advise that
True.
go for it. whoever is interested, go for it. And then talking about networking, look, you cannot survive in legal practice without networking. Definitely cannot. One lawyer can recommend you, one can recommend you for something. Okay, I know you're into IP. Okay, I have this client who's interested. Before you know it, something has come up. You must network. You must belong to groups. You must cultivate
Hmm.
relationships, build relationships. No one is an island.
Yeah.
I have some of my colleagues on co-counsel arrangements where what we do is that if I have a brief and I want them to handle it, we have an agreement that we sign and we roll with it. Now that cannot happen if I don't have a relationship with that person, if I'm not intentionally cultivated, or that person is not intentionally cultivating that relationship. I can
Yeah.
say for you, Mercy, that you have intentionally followed me up, because, you know, and
Yeah.
that's the spirit. And that is why in this little platform that we have, the better practitioners, the idea is that no female lawyer is lost. You can run in there if you need anything. You can ask questions. And before you know it, you will be helping others. The idea is give back so that
Hmm.
others can also give back. It keeps going on and on. So I believe that we
Hmm.
all need networking. You can't, I mean, you have to join platforms. You have to be
Yeah.
in touch. You have to join. For instance, I'm a member of the MBA Women's Forum. I'm one of advocacy
Yeah.
committee. I'm a deputy head there. Not because of I'm the head, but I from the day that program came on, I was so excited because even FIDA that I belong to, we give to society. Nobody actually gives back to the
True.
female lawyer. So it's the MBA forum that is the
Yeah.
only fora that says, hey, female lawyer, you're doing well. This is how you should do this. I want to mentor you. This is how you should go. So if we have little
Yeah.
clusters of
Yeah.
people coming together to say, I've seen these five female lawyers, can I help them? I even have a dream where I can approach big law firms and say, we have five women who have children. They can't be employed in regular firms. Can you take them on 3 months,
Yeah.
2 months, even if it's without pay or a stipend? So that they can learn the
Hmm.
skills. The problem is that when the female lawyer is out of practice, she doesn't learn the skills. Her male counterpart, who remains in practice, let's say in 6 years, is going to be better
Yeah.
off than she is. So when she comes back, she's second guessing herself. She's unsure if she can do this. She has to have a mind
Hmm.
shift, so there's so much to
Shift.
contend against. So why don't we have these clusters where the female
Hmm.
lawyer can say that, look, there's nothing wrong with me, I just gave birth, I did a great thing, so but my brain is still active. That's why I say
Yeah.
get research jobs. Ask people, can I be your virtual assistant? 2 days ago I put up a post for a legal virtual assistant, and I can tell you the emails I got, I was impressed. And I'm even thinking of running a program to
Hmm.
teach us about being a virtual assistant so that those ones who cannot go to court,
Yeah.
who cannot be where we are, can assist us. So it keeps the
Yeah.
ball rolling. When they're assisting us,
True.
they will learn. You can't do a research or a matter and not learn. Do you get? So
Of
I think for
course.
me, I think that building relationships, networking is key.
It's key. Yeah. Important. Yeah. For our viewers who are watching us, our guest has reiterated again that networking is a find the Nigerian Bar Association around you. Know what is happening. Follow the trend. People, because you can't be an island. You can't be an people. You need you need to you need their network. To push forward. So my another question that interesting and I want to ask you is that a lot of are confused about how okay do I without breaching the RPC? I position myself for visibility to all solution without breaching. So this is one of the questions that have been on the minds of young want to utilize every aspect themselves to project their visibility. But am I not breaching RPC? So, but what's your take on?
I know, this question comes all the time, and it's the thing that is hanging over lawyers and is keeping them under, should I say, some kind of
Yeah.
bondage that they feel that, oh, I'm about to breach the RPC. If I let people know I'm a lawyer on social
Yeah.
media, I've breached the RPC.
Yeah.
I think differently. There's the
Yeah.
RPC in section 39 talks about improper
Yes.
attraction of business, right?
Yeah.
It
Yes, ma'am.
even says that a lawyer can advertise, but let me read out
Mm.
that section. I mean, I have to read it out because
Okay.
now we
Yeah.
deal with we let me read out what it actually says so that many people don't really
Okay.
see what it says. They just say, this is what the RPC says without reading it.
Yeah, without knowing what
What, yes, what it
provisions
actually says. So
provide.
everybody is under an illusion. Here it says, if I read, it says, okay, just a minute. I think I wear my glasses. Okay. Subject to paragraphs 2 and 3 of this rule, a lawyer may engage in any advertising or promotion in connection with his practice of the law. Let's stop there. What did you just hear?
Yes.
He
Hmm.
says a lawyer may engage in any advertising or promotion in connection with his practice of the law, provided, of course, there's a
Okay.
proviso. There's a proviso. Provided it is fair and proper in all the circumstances, and it complies with the provisions of these
Okay.
rules. Now, so you can advertise. Very strange. But it says that it has to be fair and proper
Yes.
in the circumstances. It also says that you must comply the
Mm.
provisions of the rule. Now, let me go on again. This is the part everybody looks at. We don't look at the first part. We are busy looking at the second part
Yeah.
because the second part is where, everybody's worried. A lawyer shall not
Yeah.
engage or be involved in any advertising or promotion of his practice of the law, which you can engage in advertising, but you can't engage in advertising which is inaccurate and likely to mislead. If you're lying,
Yeah.
or is not accurate, the information you're giving is not accurate, it's likely to
Yeah.
diminish public confidence in the legal profession. If the advertising, the way you advertise, is going to diminish public confidence in the legal profession, then you shouldn't. Or diminish public confidence in the
Okay.
administration of justice, or otherwise bring the legal profession into disrepute. C says, if it makes comparison with or criticizes other lawyers. Now, when you say, Miari in Purple, name of my firm is Peacemakers Legal, it is better than all the firms
Yeah.
in Nigeria, you are comparing, right? That's comparison, right? So, in other
Yeah.
words,
Yeah.
you find that, let me drop this. So, you find that we're so afraid of the word advertising because we think it is super
Okay.
blue omo, or because it says washes brighter and it shows. It doesn't say it's the best detergent in town.
Yes.
So I think that lawyers, we need to, apart from what I think, I also think that rules need to be amended. One, let's start there. But with the rules as it is, doesn't say you should not advertise. Now, for
Mm.
me, Section 41 says display a signage, reasonable size, sober
Yeah.
design. Section 40 talks about note paper your card and all that. But do you know that right
Yes.
now the internet is our space? Let's say the internet is a
True.
town. Let's say it's Lagos.
Yeah.
For me to put up my sign for you to see that I'm a lawyer, I
Mm.
may have, let's say I'm using Facebook social media. I may have a Facebook
Ye-
page that says Peacemakers Legal Consultancy.
Yes.
I can have on my profile business attorney. That's a
Okay.
side. There's nothing there that says the best lawyer in town. Now that's where our colleagues miss it.
Mm.
I think they go to extra turmoil of overnight most lawyers okay we're back most lawyers don't know that you can promote
Okay.
yourself as long as it's
Mm.
fair proper in all
Yes.
circumstances
Mm.
it's fair and
Yeah.
proper you're not doing it improperly I see some of our
Yes.
colleagues come and say i I register businesses if you want at the shop law all those things are advertising
Yeah.
but you could teach about registration without
Yes.
even saying come and register with me. People will be in your inbox asking you questions. And before you know it, you hit one, two clients without saying come and register with me. You could show evidence, oh, you can give a story. I registered 5 clients yesterday because of this. That's not the idea. But before you know it,
Okay.
you have people coming to you. So I think that lawyers
It's
need to
true.
learn how to position themselves, how to be visible.
Of course.
One of the ways I'm teaching something on that on the 8th, how to position your brand online for profit for lawyers. It's a free class. It's a hold in Telegram on Telegram, and I want people to
Okay.
come and learn what I have learned. So that's it. So,
Wonderful. This is great because a lot of people are afraid of, you know, coming out, gain visibility because of RPC, but explanation, is art and the level to which, you can do engagement or the visibility. I must
and they
commend you,
need to
ma'am,
learn how. They
in
need to learn how.
dissecting this. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, thank you. That was awesome. That was awesome. Um,
Thank you.
in As we all know, knowledge is power. Do you think a lawyer needs more knowledge to provide solutions? You know,
That's a
do you think
given.
needs more knowledge? You're just done from the university. You're done with law. You need a lawyer. Do you think a
Hmm.
lawyer needs more knowledge to provide solutions?
That's a given because if we say knowledge is power, then more knowledge is
Yeah.
more power. Okay, so
Wow.
knowledge,
Yeah.
yes, knowledge you can always stand out where you are. Remember we talked about networking. Imagine that you're
Hmm.
sitting,
Yeah.
you happen to be in a restaurant with some
Yes.
friends and some non-lawyers, and they talk about something that other people do not have knowledge on. And let's say, for instance, you had recently gained knowledge on it, and you speak on those topics. What do you think would happen?
Okay.
Your value would
Hmm.
go up a notch amongst your colleagues and with the non-lawyers.
Yeah.
So you don't even need to come and say, I am the best lawyer in Nigeria. Value attracts. Once you can give
Yeah.
value, it attracts. Okay, let's watch out on platforms. When somebody says, please, I need this, who can help me? And Mercy says, see this, here is this. Everybody goes to look
Yeah.
at your profile, taps to your WhatsApp and looks, who is this? Who is this? Oh,
It's
this is the
true.
Mercy. Wow. Okay. And then can even inbox you, thank you very much. You've increased
Yeah.
your value. So the more knowledge you
It's
can
true.
get, applicable knowledge, the more value you can give. And the more you make yourself an authority. So
Yeah.
people look up to you. So what happens is that when you come out of law school, nobody teaches the lawyer the business angle of law. We're trained
Yeah.
that as a lawyer, when you wear your wig, your gown, there's this pocket that people are supposed to come and put in money at the back, and you are not supposed to know how much because you're supposed to be modest and all that. But you see, modesty doesn't pay bills. Modesty doesn't pay the bills of your staff. Modesty doesn't pay for all the subscription that you need to pay for all the associations you belong to. Modesty doesn't do any of those things.
Yes.
So I think that
Yeah.
when people come out of law school, well, there's usually the reality they meet. Actually, what you're taught in law school is a sharp
Yeah.
difference. When you come in, the thing you go, no, do we have to do that? You are in shock. So there's
Yes.
first the shock of the
Yeah.
practical, and then
Yeah.
when you get into the traditional roles, if you're not careful, you remain
Yes.
there. If you don't break out of that mold, so I think we should equip ourselves. New weeks should keep on equipping themselves. Upskill.
Of
No
course.
skill is lost. Digital skills are the skills, the rave. You can't be a
Hmm.
young lawyer and you don't have digital skills. Is it the old ones you want to have digital skills? Who will they employ? You
It's true.
increase your value as a young lawyer when you have the skills that the older lawyer doesn't have. So he has to employ you on your terms. So when
Of
you
course.
have nothing, you're the same. Now the older lawyer has more knowledge and experience anyway. So we have to bring something
Yes.
else to the table he doesn't have. So with that, he would call on you, he will beckon on you, he will want to pay your rates, he would, so and the law school teaches what it teaches, but I think young lawyers need to also upskill and add to what they
Hmm.
have. Yes.
Already have. This is important. So, someone who's watching up, who's yet to add more skills to the one please go and upskill so that you become relevant and you will be a high flyer. So, in terms of providing legal solutions, a lot of lawyers are afraid of diversification. They want to still maintain the status quo. They want to still be that traditional lawyer. They just want to just about going to court, coming to police station, coming back, doing the traditional thing of agreements and all of that. So, what's your take on diversification and why are lawyers afraid of diversification?
I think lawyers should really have a hard sit down and think. See, we
Okay.
have so many lawyers churned out from law school every year. What that means is that there are many lawyers in
Hmm.
circulation. So for you to be noticed or to be relevant or to make impact or to
Yeah.
attract clients, you have to diversify. Anybody can go to court.
Hmm.
Whether I have been to court in the last 100 years, that's the truth.
Okay.
Once I pick up my file, it's like driving. After a while, just everything just flows. But the lawyer who goes beyond that is the lawyer you need to look out for. Because I remember there's
Of
this
course.
I listened to the last time you had a webinar, you hosted a webinar, and we talked about one of the speakers, the speaker there spoke on corporate law. He opened the eyes of many lawyers on that call to what it means to be a corporate lawyer. And many people shout, okay, today I want to be a corporate lawyer. And then next tomorrow they're back to the regular police station style. The truth
Of
is,
course.
for you to do that, you need to intentionally diversify.
Yeah.
If you've been earning a certain way and you want to earn more, you can't remain in the same environment doing the same thing and expect a
It's
difference.
true.
That is why I say that lawyers should position themselves strategically. Look around. What is new? Where can I offer legal service? Where can I offer legal service? What can I
Of
do?
course.
People are just afraid of living it traditional. And before now, there was this
To
stigma.
make a move.
Yeah, there was this stigma on non-litigation lawyers. Like, is that one a lawyer? That is not a lawyer. All those in-house people. But what the in-house lawyer knows, my sister, in 2 years you can't finish knowing it. Let me calm down, because the things they know, we don't know that they know. But that is why they
Yeah.
won't live in-house. They're not even jealous of us
Hmm.
litigation lawyers, we who are struggling private practice. They're not, because they're sitting on gold.
Hmm.
Now if you don't know that, you'll be busy judging them and they're smiling to the bank. Look at when we have section on business law.
Legal practice and all of that.
No, business law. Leave legal practice first. Business law. When you go for that conference, what do
Yes.
you see? Isn't there some class? Don't
Yes.
you see some form of class? There is something about everyone there. They are diversified, they are free. So any lawyer can
Of
diversify.
course.
You can decide to go anywhere. We have some people are only in IP.
Mm.
I have a friend, all she does is
Yes.
IP. She earns in dollars. Last conference at breakfast, my jaw, I couldn't pick my jaw from the ground when we're just talking about law practice, because anytime I meet anyone, I try to glean, see how I can network, gain knowledge.
Yeah.
And what I gained from that young lady, man, it's like I haven't started. But you see, everybody has a place where they are strong. So if you're found somewhere, please stay in it. For instance, for young lawyers, you have the internet, for Christ's sakes. You have the internet. That is money. That is a money printing
Hmm.
machine
That's a
for
gift.
any lawyer. I'm telling you, the internet. Clients are on the internet. Clients came to the internet to catch crews. You are a lawyer who understands the language of the streets. You position yourself strategically by teaching and simplifying
True.
law so much that the ordinary man is attracted to you. You know, there's one thing, people are attracted to lawyers because they speak Latin and big, big English,
Of course,
but they
they
also
do.
fear lawyers because they don't understand. They're intrigued. You find out that the day
Of
you
course.
post a picture about you that in your full regalia, everybody's like, ah, the lawyer, you're looking so fine. They want to know more.
It's true.
How is the courtroom? Okay, if you're a litigator, let me just give you an idea. You're a litigator. It doesn't have to be your wig and gown. It could just be a picture, just a story. Ah, today was this. You will see so
Hmm.
many comments under that post. Why? Because people are interested.
Oh,
They want to understand law. We need law simplified.
yeah.
You have SMEs who do not understand our language, our legal language. We can simplify it. We
Yeah.
can teach. You can educate.
Uh,
Young lawyers have the internet. The older ones like us, we are trying. I'm sure we can get a little past Mark Mercy. What do you think?
yeah.
So I think people are afraid.
It's true.
People are afraid of being the known.
Yeah.
Why?
Yes. Thank you, man. This is beautiful. I a lot of people are afraid, make moves and change. People just want it to be as it used to be. You know,
If it's
people
not
that are
bringing
just
money
doing
to your pockets,
immigration law. Yeah, but at the same time, that's why they're afraid. Like nobody is doing it in this state, nobody is doing it in this town. It will I survive? How would they? Those that we need to conquer and break off from them biases. So start. You people will now you become a referral point because I don't
very well.
meet that man, he's into this. So we should find a way to specialize, find 2 or 3 areas that you are known in, get knowledge, train yourself, get other certifications and start. Yeah, but I thank you for that wonderful exposition. So we're almost getting to the tail of our discussion. I want to talk
Okay.
about freelancing. A lot of people are freelancing fine, but they're not really getting the benefit of freelancing, or they are afraid to subject themselves or to go onto to do pupillage or to work for people. So they feel I'm going to freelance until I get money to start up. So what's your take on freelancing, and what do you advise, or what advice do you have for people who are already freelancing?
Well, people say as a lawyer you can start your firm, but I believe in
Yeah.
pupillage because if you don't learn one, how a law firm should look like, two, how a law firm actually how it works. Um, I tell you that if you were to start a law firm today, you're going to be
Yeah.
affected by your what you have seen in the profession, either to do better, but at least you will start from there. So imagine that I didn't have any law firm experience, I hadn't worked anywhere,
Yes.
I haven't learned some skills. I tell you, when you work for someone else, you learn discipline, you learn how to keep
Yes.
your schedule. There's so many things you learn while working for somebody else. They can tell you, stop doing this, and you have to stop because your salary is dependent on them. You will learn how
The
to,
stake.
yes, you learn how to project yourself. If you sit in a law firm and look at your principal well, you learn so much from them
Yeah.
that when you start off, even if it's in one small hut, the
True.
excellence that will come from there will attract big clients.
Wait, yeah.
But when you have not had any form of structure, no structure, you don't even understand, you're just on your own. Today you do this,
Nothing
next tomorrow. There's no structure. It would show
involved.
tell on how you handle your clients. So I know that
Yeah.
freelancing is what people do, so nobody can pay me. But there are still other ways
Yeah.
of employment that you could explore. For instance, I was a part of this remuneration committee of the MBA who were tasked with thinking up and bringing up new ways of employment, how lawyers
Yeah.
can get paid, and all that and all that. And one of the things we said was that there need to be other models of employment that is not necessarily 9 to 6. It could just be for a
Work.
few
Yeah.
hours. It could be co-counsel. It could be, so the person can have time to do other things. But when it's on that job, the person learns. But what I keep on saying, one thing is that you can
It's
never learn
true.
some things freelancing. That's some things you must
Mm.
learn traditionally in a firm, even if it's for a few months.
Yes. Yeah.
So I also advocate that, anyone who has a firm, we should have a program where people come and learn how firms are run. Because many of the young people just open up
Okay.
firms in 2 months, they lock it today, tomorrow is open.
And
There's no,
so,
there's no stability because they haven't
no
really learned
driving for no
structure.
vision.
Yes. And I have a
True.
friend of mine, Namdi Ibe. He's been toying with the idea of teaching lawyers structure, how to structure our business. And I'm hoping
Yeah.
the collaboration goes through. If it does, then you see me. I'll talk about that program very soon. So that is what I can say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is good. This is good. Know law office administration. A lot of
Yes.
people manage clients' accounts, how to manage files, to set up, how to manage colleagues, because there are techniques in client management, how to do your how to build clients professionals, but when you work in an office, failures, you know that by the time you start yours, I will work on this to become excellent. So I still believe, I'm a firm believer of pupillage. It's not about how long. You can be few months, but you're able to learn while you're there. You don't need to do it for 10 years to learn everything. In few months, you can even learn how do we go about this thing, so that you have a firm structure. So, friends, if you're here and you're still considering, should I do pupillage? Should I go and learn? You need to go and see what happens in other places, so that from there you have an idea of how to build your own. As we're rounding up, you will agree with me that a virtual court sitting has come to stay. Many states have started virtual sitting, and a lot of other states and other courts are also joining. So what are those things you think that can be done to improve this thing? Because we also have a lot of hitches in the course of these virtual sittings and all of that. So, as a professional, what advice do you have for the judiciary? What advice do you have for the lawyer, so that we can have smooth virtual sittings, without any form of glitch or hitches whatsoever?
Now, for the lawyers, I would say that lawyers need to get familiar with tech tools. The
Okay.
issue is that many lawyers actually really tough for them. They're used to the traditional ways. They are not really, it's a
Yeah.
struggle. But like I used to tell my colleagues and senior friends, you can employ somebody who has tech abilities. So, and while the person is there, other people in the office will also learn, and you too can learn.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think that lawyers also need to take courses. You look, you can't, you need, if you need to survive,
Yeah.
your practice to survive. You can't be using the tools. You can't be using hoe when people are using tractor. You're not. That
Yeah.
is you're not. You've not started. So Also, the tech savvy lawyer can educate the court. I have a friend, Professor
Okay.
Teddy Diabeta in Delta State.
Okay.
He takes it upon himself to educate courts. He
Okay.
believes in litigation, virtual litigation practice,
Yes.
and he's doing it. And he's shouting at the top of his voice. In fact, I think I encouraged him, and I think he will take the hint to start up courses, paid courses for lawyers. The truth is that lawyers don't
Okay.
want to pay for such things. But you see, it's an equipment of the lawyer, it's equipping you.
Yeah.
So you need to
Yeah.
upskill. Virtual litigation is here to stay. Unfortunately, on the side of the judiciary, we find that even though they have the best intentions, sometimes even staff of the judiciary are not ready yet. But in
Yes.
jurisdictions where they are ready, we need to go on. Okay, let's say like in River State where we do e-filing, they have to be
Yeah.
retraining and retraining. Do you know that we have the judiciary training that they invite lawyers? Till today, some lawyers haven't been there. Some lawyers are still meeting other lawyers to file matters for them. But that's not a problem. All you do is to earn more till that person realizes that he's giving you money for that. So what am I saying? Virtual court sitting, yes, it may not be like you have internet issues, we have so many issues,
True.
but it's working in some areas. And I would advise,
Okay.
as a young lawyer, if you're into litigation, go for virtual. Why? You're going to increase your capacity. You're going to have people, like I said,
Yeah.
running after you. This man in this firm is this. People would know that you do this, and you increase your value. So, if I may
Yeah.
say that, Professor Teddy has some courses coming up, and I would say lawyers go and pay to learn, to improve your practice so you can give legal solutions to your clients. When your clients are happy, they pay you. So the courses are like an investment to improve yourself, to upskill. So that's my advice. Lawyers should get familiar with tech tools, lawyers should upskill, the judiciary should keep pushing, advocating that they get it right.
Yeah. To make it
The
better.
world has moved.
Yeah.
We're not a tree. Let's move alongside. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah. We appreciate it so much, ma, because I know that
Thank you.
to tango, it takes two, and the part of the judiciary much, the trainings has to be constant. Like just do once and sit back, that between the judiciary and the lawyer, it should be, even if it's monthly, can file their processes from the comfort of their offices, to court from the comfort of their offices. Judges needs to be trained, internet facilities, whatever it means, it's a comfortable sitting, the judicial assistant read along, for us to have justice delivery. I must thank you that is in time with you. I thank you for honoring and coming and for to join us. Thank you for teaching us legal solutions in the 20. So, friends, I hope you've learned something in this discussion. I know that you take one or two things back and begin to do better lawyer, because you don't just want it to be a normal lawyer, the best wherever you are. So if you've here to, please do hit the subscribe button, share this video, drop your what you're thinking, what are your thoughts on these other ways you think can provide legal solutions. So drop action, and if you need a response, we will get. Thank you for joining us. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
channel, for other legal contents we have created. Them there, so go through them, equip your power, more knowledge, more power to be the best wherever you are, and we will keep checking Lawyers Info Hub for more content, because we are here to value to you, to make you valuable, and to make you the terms of knowledge and charisma and all that pertains to a lawyer. Thank you for joining us. We are very grateful. Please share this video to your friends, because I know from this. Thank you, and God bless you.